Yesterday, I presented the preliminaries, if you will, to what I think is the most important part of the message. I spoke at length about the power of the mind. And one of the things that when I had lunch with Linda today, when I was having lunch, we were talking about it. She was saying that the shocking thing for her in that experience was how quickly the changing of a thought impacts the muscles or the entire physiology of the body. In Power versus Force, Dr. Hawkins has presented a scale that I want to present to you here today, and it's just an arbitrary scale. It's numbers these numbers could go from 0 to 2 million, or they could go to 0 to 10, or whatever. His scale goes from 0 to 1,000, and what it is a scale that measures energy. Now remember, when I spoke yesterday, the idea that Einstein said that nothing happens until something moves. That everything in the universe is energy. And energy is not good or bad, right or wrong, moral or immoral. Energy is fast or slow, high or low. And that our objective in understanding this and what it means to us is to be able to move to higher and higher and faster energies. That when a higher energy, a faster energy, is put into the presence or the energy field of a very low and a very slow energy, that energy is nullified, the lower energy, and dissolved. It disappears. But more than it dissolving and disappearing, for example, if you're in a room of darkness, darkness is just simply a lower and a slower energy than light. Light moves very, very fast. The absence of light shows a very slow and a very low energy. If you're in a dark room and you are about to light a candle in that dark room, you don't have to say to the darkness, you better get out of here now. You're going to have to dissolve. You're going to have to scurry because I'm about to bring some light in here. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is light a candle, turn on a light, and the darkness dissolves. The darkness disappears. But more than that, and this is really crucial for what I'm presenting here this afternoon, the darkness is converted to light. So that when you bring higher energy to the presence of lower and slower energy, energy that we call evil, energy that we call disease, energy that we call depression, you are not only sending the disease and the depression and the despair away, you are converting that very energy into the higher and the faster energy that is being brought to its presence. The same thing is true of hatred. When you bring love to the presence of hatred, hatred not only dissolves, but it turns to love. When you bring higher energy, even in the field of medicine, we're discovering now with energy medicine that experimentation is being done now. Andy Weil, who I was just with the other day, suggests that the medicine of the future will be energy medicine, and that medical doctors will be in medical schools, will be trained in energy medicine. It'll be the real upcoming area for investigation and for research. They're now doing experiments with lasers, which are very, very, very fast energies, and they're taking tumors that are present in what we call cancerous tumors and even non-cancerous tumors, but growths in the body. And they're bombarding the tumor and the surrounding tissue with these extremely high, fast energies. And they're discovering that not only do the tumors begin to dissolve and begin to be removed, but the energy that was in the tumor is now joining with the higher, faster laser energy, and it is being converted into something that we call healing or health. The implications for what I'm speaking about here are absolutely astonishing for everything in your life. And what I'm about to present to you in this little paradigm in the next few moments is something that could change your life. As I said to you, if you don't take anything else with you, be sure to commit yourself to reading Power versus Force. And his follow-up to it, if you're up to it, which I had some about here as well. It's called The Eye of the Eye. And in there he talks about how we can calibrate virtually everything in our lives. Every book of the Bible has been calibrated. All of the great songs have been calibrated. The calibration goes like this. Over here to my left is a calibration of 0. And as far as I can go on this stage, let's say up to the speaker, represents 1,000. The energy level of 1,000 to here. All right? Now, anything that goes up to number 200 on this scale that I'm just arbitrarily giving to you, let's say 200 is right here, represents something called force. And every thought and every emotion that you have that calibrates between 0 and 200 is a thought or an emotion that weakens you in one way or another and lowers the energy field. And those calibrations, those thoughts, I'll give you the number 20 is the lowest, and the thought is shame. And this, by the way, is a 29-year study that was conducted over almost his entire professional lifetime. This is a medical doctor and a PhD researcher as well. And in this 30 years, these kinesthesiological tests that I just briefly demonstrated with Linda up here yesterday are ways that we can determine, because as I was trying to point out to you, the body comes from something that we call truth, perfection, and it can only respond to truth. The moment that you introduce a lie into the body, the mind can fool, but the body, which is this perfect creation of God, only responds to that which is true. And so you can test virtually anything, even the lives of the greatest masters who ever walked among us, by asking questions of the body and watching how the body responds, forgetting about what the mind has to say about it. The body can only respond to truth. Number 20 is shame. At 30, we're moving up now. 30 is guilt. 50 is apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, until we reach approximately 200. Now, every energy that is below 200 is an energy that when you have that thought, the thoughts of humiliation, of blame, of despair, of anxiety, of hatred, of scorn, any of these kinds of thoughts, these thoughts are in what he calls force. And whenever you use force as a way of communicating, a way of talking, a way of being, you create, the problem is that we create a counterforce. And that people who calibrate below 200 in their lives, and anyone can be calibrated at any time. Even photographs can be calibrated. The photograph on the cover of A Spiritual Solution to Every Problem calibrates around 580. And it was a picture that was taken in Assisi after just an astonishing miracle had happened in my life, which I'll share a little bit with you a little bit later. And we have seen experiments where they'll take a picture of a Mother Teresa, and they'll take a picture of a Charles Manson, and they will put those photographs in envelopes that the person holding them doesn't know who is in the envelope. And the picture of Charles Manson, who calibrates somewhere around 30 or 40, will make the person go weak, and they don't even know what picture that they're holding. You have to, it's almost like I said yesterday, you have to willingly suspend your disbelief. You have to do a somersault into the inconceivable and allow yourself to open up to the possibility that every thought that you have and every emotion that you have and every internal experience that you have has an impact not only on you, on everyone that you encounter in your life and everything that you encounter in your life and whatever energy field that you radiate to.